Hello, class, and welcome back to language. We have a lot to do today, and we want to go over some things that I see a bit of a problem on with some of your parents have said, and looking at the last quiz especially. So we're going to look at that. First, we're going to have our reading book as well as our language book ready, and we'll get right into that right now. So have it ready. So the first thing I'd like us to do is look at some words that's going to show up in your reading book. Aristocratic. Say that again with me. Aristocratic. Aristocratic. Of royal or nobility. Of the best quality. Aristocratic. Nobility, rich, kingly, that sort of thing. Correspondent. A person who exchanges letters with another. Correspondent. Depot, a railroad or bus station. Notice the T is not pronounced. Depot. Gaunt, thin and bony. Gaunt. Glistening, shining with reflected light. Glistening. The water glistened off the leaf in the morning sunshine. Obligation, a duty. Obligation. And then I'm going to flip this paper over. There's some more words here. Oops. And you will see the word resolution, a decision to do something differently. Resolution. You've resolved to do it, but the noun form of the word is resolution. Shiftless, lazy, not having ambition, you're shiftless. To shift, you're moving, right? But shiftless means not. So therefore, you're not having the ambition to do. Strive, to put forth great effort. Strive. I strive to do well. Waver, to go back and forth, to seem unsure, like a wave goes back and forth on a sea. To waver, you go back and forth on maybe your decision or what you do. And there you have the words that will show up in your reading book. And so be practicing those so that you know them well. When you come to them, you're able to use that word in a sentence and understand it when you read it in your story. So now let's look into our reading book, all right? Here's your reading book, and on page 232, find page 232, and you read the story. It's a really good story, too. You read the story. Let's go and see if you remember what the story was about. Why was Grace so excited on the morning of February 16th, 1861? And did you say she was excited because she got to see Abraham Lincoln? Think about it. If you had gotten to see him, how excited you would be, especially as a girl, you know, or if you're a boy, as a child, getting to see him. Why could Grace see nothing but hats and a flag on the train's platform? Why could she only see that? Well, the obvious reason is she felt like Zacchaeus, didn't she? She was too short to see over people's heads, and so therefore she could not see. How did her father help her to see better? What did he do? Yes, that's right. Did you say he lifted her up on his shoulders? That's exactly right. And number 4, what made Grace's cheeks burn? What made Grace's cheeks burn? Yes, and actually being recognized by Abraham Lincoln, and what? She got a little kiss, and the whiskers were scratchy, weren't they? And number 5, how would you have felt if you had been able to see Abraham Lincoln? How would you feel? And of course, you may have different answers on that one, but how would it make you feel? Would you be happy? Would you be glad? Would you enjoy it? Would you be a little nervous? Well, how would you feel? Well, it's a really good story that you have read, and a true story about this girl that actually impacted the president in a powerful way. And really good story there about how a child can make a difference. You can make a difference in the lives of people, in the lives of people, or in the life of a person. And go on now and read page 233. I would like you to read page 233, The Willow Basket, and finish that story. So just go to the end of the story. I think it's a little past in the 240, is it 245, something like that. Well, maybe it's a little longer, 248. Yeah, 248. And read The Willow Basket. And then I'll ask you some questions about that story for the next time. Read, 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 and love to read. For language time today, for language, let's go over these. These have given us some difficulty, which is to be expected. It's not easy, right? It's not easy, especially when it is not modeled correctly by most people. So let's see if you can get these. Lie, lying, lay, have, lain. I want you to memorize that. Lie, lying, lay, have, lain. Now you can memorize that, but if you don't know what they mean, what's the point, right? So as you memorize that order, be thinking present tense, lie, to rest or recline, in the present. It's happening now. The participle tense has an ing. It's happening before us. We're seeing it happening with an ing after it. Lying, notice the changes to a y. Lay, it's in the past. It already happened. You say lay. And if there's a have or has, say lain. I noticed that some missed that one on their quiz. Look for has or have. If you see have or has, just put lain. Lain, L-A-I-N, lain. He has lain there a long time. He has done, if he's resting or reclining. If you're putting or placing something, right? I lay it on the table in the present. I am laying it. Right now, it's happening before your eyes, laying it. I laid it there. I laid it there. It's in the past. I did it already. I just did it. It's in the past now. Once you do it, it's in the past. I have laid it there many times before, right? I have laid. And so you have the parts. Knowing them in a sentence and being able to get those. Let's see if you know this one. Sit or set the coat on the chair. Would you sit the coat on the chair or would you set the coat on the chair? Some people missed one like that on their quiz. Set it there. To put or place, you set. But I sit down. But set has an object, just like lay has an object. I lay a paper on the table, okay, but I lie down. There was the boat, right? The boat, lie in the harbor or lay. It's resting there. It's kind of sitting, resting, so it's lie, right? So think about that one and think about what tense is being used. Would I lie the coat on the chair or lay the coat on the chair? You would lay it in the chair. Now, I'm going to give you three choices. He has laid there a long time. He has lay there a long time. He has lain there a long time. Is it laid, lay, or lain? He has laid there a long time. He has lay there a long time, or he has lain there a long time. Which one's it going to be? How many of you said lain? Has, lain. If you see a have or has, put lain. Hopefully that helps you today with those. Now I want you to find page 245 because there's something we need to go over. Page 245 as a request, actually, from a parent, and that's good. I want to know those things. Let's go over those. Do you remember when we talked about certain words? being correct or incorrect or not to use in a certain way. Remember accept or accept. Look at think B on page 245 and let's look at it. Number one, the speaker stepped off of the stage when he had finished. What is wrong? You don't need to say of, do you? You just say off. Of is redundant, meaning it's superfluous, meaning it's extra, not needed. It's superfluous, not needed. So underline of, you don't need that, all right? Number two, what's wrong with that one? Try to pick the jar that has less jelly beans in it. Well, jelly beans can be counted, so you wouldn't say less. You would say what? Did you write fewer? Fewer jelly beans is right. Number three, beside the test on Wednesday, I have several reports due. You wouldn't say beside, you'd say besides with an S. Other than, right? In addition to. Number four, I got impatient waiting on Jack to get out of the dentist's office. What's wrong with that one? I got impatient waiting on Jack. All right. What is wrong? How should you say that? We don't wait on, we wait for them. Waiting on someone means I'm waiting on them, I'm serving them. Like in a restaurant, a waiter, or they used to call it a waiter or waitress, now they just call them servers. But anyway, maybe in a nice little uppity restaurant, they still say that. Wait on, right? You wait on someone, you're serving them, you're bringing them something, you're doing a service for them. But wait for just means you're sitting here and you just, when are they going to come, right? You're waiting for them. Okay. One of the worms was divided between two hens, and the other worm was divided between 6 chicks. What's wrong with between? The first between is correct because it's 2. But the last one, 6 chicks, says between. It should be among when there's more than 2. Number 6, try and work harder. Try to work harder, Chloe. Spelled differently though, but it's your name, isn't it? Well, you don't say try and. What do you say, Chloe? What do you say? You say try to, right? So you just need to memorize that one. Don't ever say try and. I'll try and try to, right? The disease affected the tennis player. All right, remember what we said, affected and effected or affected. Affected with an A means to influence. That's a verb. Affected with an E is a noun. So let's look at the sentence. The disease affected. Is that a noun or a verb? It's something that's happening, that's being done, right? So it's a verb form. So it should be A, affected. That's what's wrong with that one. So underline that word. Number 8, busted. Do we say busted like that? It busted, the balloon busted? No, it burst. So that's what's wrong with that one. Number 9, between the 3 rangers. That's not between the 3, it's what? Among the 3, that's right. Number 10, some of the people in World War II, let's see, had less bad effects than World War I. Less effects, be fewer effects, right? You wouldn't say less bad effects, no, fewer effects. You could count those things, and that one's a little different sort of usage. But you wouldn't say less. You'd say fewer, because you could, let's say you got hurt. I got a wound there and a wound there. Let's just say, so you could use the word fewer for that. All right, had fewer problems, right? All right. I hope that helped someone today, and we're going to go on because I don't want the video to get too long today, but. Or I could make another one, and I could have a video just for that too. If there are other things you'd like to go over, And whoever told me that, if I didn't quite go over something else on that page, let me know, and I'll try to do a video on that too. Well, we're going to be talking about several words. You're going to be doing page 246, 247, all right? And what is that? 248. Using all of those 248's review of several pages we've already done. So for today, can you see this all right? Let's turn this just a bit so that you can see that very well. All right, can you see all of this up here? I'm going to move this and we'll come back to that in a minute. Look at what's there. I want to make sure you can clearly see everything that's there. Everything that's there. I'm going to tilt this a little bit so that everything is seen. Now, like that. All right, I hope I'm not going to get in the way now, though. Let's look here. It's, your. Right, let's first look at it's and its. One of them has an apostrophe and the other does not. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, whenever you see the apostrophe, that form of the word is having a helping verb, usually. For example, it is, its. It's the contraction for it is. But it's, the first one is just showing ownership, all right? Like its wing, if it was a bird. Its tail, it's a bunny rabbit, right? It's whatever it is, all right? It's showing ownership. It's coming in front of a noun. It's. If you see the contraction with an apostrophe, you know, that little comma up in the air called an apostrophe, that has a verb with it. It is. So whenever you see the apostrophe, I want you to put the word is in there with it. It is. And if it makes sense, use the one with the contraction. If it does not make sense, don't use the one with the contraction. Just say it's without the apostrophe. Understand? For example, the bird hurt its wing. Now, it's with the apostrophe means it is. We would not say it is wing. I want you to memorize that sentence. That was a sentence I memorized years ago. That same sentence. I said, the bird hurt its wing. The bird hurt it is wing. With an apostrophe, it would not make sense. And I memorized that sentence as a test sentence for other sentences that I would run across. So just remember, it is for an apostrophe, all right? And we wouldn't say it is. We would say, just say it's. So it does not need an apostrophe because we do not say it is wing. We use this one, the one that shows ownership, I-T-S, no apostrophe. The next one, it's almost time for lunch. It's or it's. Could we do we mean it is almost time for lunch? We do, don't we? It is almost time for lunch. Then we'd say it's, I-T apostrophe S. It is almost time for lunch, right? Let's go to the next one. The kitten lost its ball of yarn. Would we say the kitten lost it is a ball of yarn? Because that's the one with the contraction. That's the one with the contraction. Then we don't use that one. We just say it's, and there's a noun right after it. So this one with it's, not with the contraction, not with the apostrophe, just has a noun after it. And it's showing ownership. Whose ball of yarn? Its ball of yarn. But the one with the apostrophe is saying the word is with it. So just memorize that and you'll do just dandy, all right? The kitten lost it is yarn. Is that right? No, and I'm going to cross it out. We would not say the kitten lost it is yarn, would we? So we would not use its, IT apostrophe S. We would not use IT apostrophe S. we would just say it's, showing ownership. Now let's look at the next one. How is your garden growing? How is your garden growing? How is your garden growing? This introduces your and your. That's the other set of words we're going to be talking about today. There's your, Y-O-U-R, and your, Y-O-U apostrophe R-E. Again, the one with the apostrophe, that comma up in the air, we call it a contraction. Two words put together to make one word. It's like an Oreo cookie, isn't it? You've got two cookies smushed together to make one. So we have with contractions, two words smushed together to make one. We have the apostrophe, meaning there's part of it left out, like the A, A-R-E, or the I and is left out. That's what that apostrophe means, actually. So that's how you can remember it. There's an is that goes with that one, and there's an R, there's an A to make the word R, A-R-E, that goes with that one. And maybe that will help you. You are or your, just showing ownership. Whose house? Your house. Whose bike? Your bike. But you're here, you are here. Then you'd use the contraction apostrophe R-E with that one. Understand? How is your garden growing? Would you say you are? No. So you use the first one, your. Y-O-U-R. Did you say that you're going to? Did you say that you're going to? You're. You are going to? Could we say that? You are going to. Did you say that you are going to? Yes, I can say that and it makes sense. Then it's the contraction, Y-O-U apostrophe R-E, not your, the other one. Now let's see if you can do this one. The frost bit your or your toe. Spell it for me. Would you raise your hand if you said Y-O-U-R, toe? Raise your hand if you said Y-O-U apostrophe R-E, toe. If you said Y-O-U-R, you are correct. You're correct. But it's this one, Y-O-U-R, your toe. Good job. Whose toe? Your toe. The blank, the one with the key. Blank, the one with the key. We're going to put your, yeah, I think we should put it's there, huh? It's the one with the key. We could do that one. It's the one with the key. Then we can practice this one too. It's the one with the key. Would it be ITS or IT apostrophe S? Can you see that all right? It's the one with the key. Can you see that all right? Look that up a little bit. Can you see that all right? It's the one with the key. Okay. And I guess that's the kind of sentence where you could put your. That's why I hesitated. You're the one with the key. You could say you are the one with the key. And so that's a sentence where whichever your or it may be putting the correct one. We could use that for both. Now there's one other thing I want you to see here today. Look, it, time to begin. Would we say it's? Which it's would it be? All right, write it down on your paper, huh? And I'm going to write it on here. All right, I wrote it on the board here. Is that what you wrote? It's time to begin. Can we say it is time to begin? Yes, we can. Therefore, that's the one that we use. It is time to begin, not the other one. How about the dog ate its food? Which one are we going to use? And I'm going to write it down here and you tell me. Which one did you write? Did you write ITS? No apostrophe. No apostrophe. Because you wouldn't say the dog ate it is food, and the apostrophe has an is. So if you can just remember that the it's is, and the apostrophe RE has R with it, then you'll get them right. You'll just get them right because you'll put the R, the ARE with it, or you'll put the is with it, and then you'll know it has to be the other one, or you'll know it is that one. It's either that one or the other one, right? And you'll get it right. I hope this was a help to you today. You'll look at page 246. You'll look at page 247 and 248. It's more pages. We're getting closer to the end, and we do want to get it done. But since you don't have the other subjects, I think you could use the practice, especially page 248 with the lie, line, lay, sit, set that we were having some problems with. I think the extra practice will be good for you today. So I think the it's and you'll get easier. So do a good job. You take care. And again, if there's anything I can do for you, I want to be there to help you. And you have a wonderful day. But until next time, be looking for the next video.